Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to take you through my progression from 130 clean to 130 snatch. So I've been doing weightlifting for about 6 or 7 years. This is September 2014 where I first cleaned 130, and I was about 18, and I just turned 18 actually, and I'd been training at a CrossFit gym and doing CrossFit, and it was around this time that I was really thinking of just switching, and I just wanted to do weightlifting. That was what I really enjoyed, and that was why I kind of stuck around with CrossFit, because I actually really enjoyed doing the weightlifting movements. But it wasn't until I got to really spend a lot of time and learn those movements properly that I really enjoyed it and found out that that was my passion for weightlifting. So we're going to go through a couple of old lifts. So I've got this is my PB 130 clean. And I remember being so happy about this. I remember ringing so many people as soon as I finished this lift and walked outside and calling everyone, but calling like 3 people. But yeah, it's really interesting to see how my training has progressed over the years. I now snatch around 135, and so I'm snatching more than this weight here that I cleaned back then, but it just takes so long with weightlifting to progress and to translate that strength. And although you might be getting stronger and you might be developing that strength that you have, it takes time to convert that strength into power. And then of course when you're fatigued and weightlifting, one day you might be, some days I find still a 130 clean is quite challenging, even though I clean way more than this. So this is my first, I haven't looked at this lift in ages. It took me a while to find it as well. So this is going to be pretty interesting. This is my 130 clean. Oh, my arms are really bent. The quality is obviously really bad. And then this is, so as you can see, the first thing you might notice is how bad my early arm bend, or my arm bend, is. So it's something that I struggled with a long time, and I never really worked on it as much and that was one of my mistakes when I was first learning weightlifting, is not realizing how important the pull is when you're doing weightlifting. So I needed to keep my arms way longer and way more relaxed, but there was so much tension in them, and that slowed the bar down so much. So you can see as I pass my knee, I know it's pixelated quite a lot, but you can see my arms are literally, they're almost like 45 degrees. They're so bent, and that's going to take so much power away from your pull, and it's also going to fatigue you in areas that we're not meant to be loading through that area. We're meant to be using our back and trying to strengthen that. So obviously back then I had a bit more of a weakness in my upper back, so I needed to develop that strength in my back and in my pulls so that I would feel confident when I do my cleans and clean pulls. So when I go and finish my pull, it's almost like I stay up there, and it's a typical thing I see with CrossFit is people want you to finish your pull, and they almost over exaggerate and they stay up there for so long. But yeah, when I got under the bar, I had a bad habit of just rounding off my shoulders. As you can see, I know it's quite pixelated, but you can see I do get under the bar, and the bar's on my body at this point, and I'm pretty much in like a power position, or a power clean position, and then obviously it just crushes me, and I go into a really deep squat, and I'm just being crushed by this weight. But yeah, I don't know how, I managed to just stand up and bounce out of it. So something that's really important is, when you do your squats and when you do your accessory movements, because obviously your front squats and stuff like that are your accessory movements, you want to be going and practicing that full range of motion. So one of the things that probably saved me in that clean from injury as well is I was always practicing my squats, and I always do practice my squats full depth, and that's something that you need to work on if in the event you have to go into a really deep range of motion. Now that bottom position isn't the strongest position you're going to be able to ever achieve, but it is important to have practiced that and have worked on that, because when you do go into that deep squat, you want to have some security that you can drive out of it. And that was something that it took a while to develop, that bottom position, but now it's something that's really easy to spring out and bounce out of those cleans so that you can make the jerk a lot easier. Flash forward to today. This is April 2021, and this is a 130 snatch off the blocks. 130 is quite I wouldn't say a comfortable weight, but it is around that 90%-ish mark, especially off the blocks. I've done this for a double off the blocks, so the same weight as back then all those years ago, and this is pretty much how it looks now. So although these movements are completely different, one is a snatch and one is a clean, you can see in the snatch my arms are staying a lot longer. Sometimes there is still that slight arm bend. I haven't completely gotten rid of it. It's obviously been, one of those things where if you do get into a dirty habit when you first start weightlifting, it's going to be hard to completely get rid of it. So it's something to be said for getting a coach and learning from the beginning. As I finish my pull, obviously I'm trying to focus on driving and using my legs, and then I don't stay up there. As soon as I flick my traps, as soon as I drive and extend, I'm getting ready to drop straight under the bar, and then the position that I receive the weight in, I'm so much taller and I'm not letting that weight crush me. Obviously in a front rack, it's a little bit easier and the weight's a lot heavier to just crush and cave yourself forward. You want to try and maintain that tightness in your upper body, and then spring out of it. And obviously, I didn't show my celebration in my 130, but I was swearing and throwing my belt around. And then for me today, I'm a lot more calm and a lot more chilled. So that's something that's happened over time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and you can see the difference between my progression and my transition over the years, and obviously just working on weightlifting. And something that you find with weightlifting is just how explosive and powerful it makes you. I was never someone who was really explosive or powerful, and obviously you can see the way I moved that in 2014 compared to how I move 130 now. The speed is completely different and my explosiveness and power is completely different as well. So I encourage you guys to look back at your other lifts and see where you're at now and compare. And I'm sure you've made heaps of improvement when you compare your old lifts to where you are now. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I'll see you in the next one.